एडीजी है साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी की। एडीजी है साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी की पीएमडी है नानो सीएनजी। थैंक यू। भुवनेश्वर जाने के लिए अप्रैल में वहाँ जाने के लिए और आपने अग्री किया तो वहाँ जाने के लिए फिर लॉकडाउन में
Respected Chief Guest, Honorable Minister of Science and Technology and Art Sciences, and the Minister of Health and Family Welfare, Vice President of Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, Dr. Harshvardhan Ji, Guest of Honor, Dr. Shekhar C. Pandey, Secretary DSIR, and GCSIR, all our colleagues, staff members of CSIR University, invited guests, friends of CSIR, watching live to webcast, and ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all and greet you all on the occasion of CSIR University's 57th Foundation Day celebration. This was supposed to be on April 13th, like every other year, but due to national lockdown, we have postponed it to today. We are very grateful to the Honorable Minister that he is present amongst us in spite of his position at the time of COVID-19. His blessings on this prestigious occasion will not be remembered. We are going through an unprecedented time of human history. Human minds never seen such a pandemic in the recent times. SARS-CoV-2 virus COVID-19 has infected more than 390 crores of people and more than 10 lakhs people have died across the world. Sir, before I start formal presentation of the report, I must congratulate the entire team of CSIR for the way we responded when common man looked at us to do something. We all felt virtually helpless when COVID-19 was at our doorstep. I have seen our scientists and the staff members of CSIR do something in such kind of situation when lockdown just began. With Honorable Prime Minister's vision and your guiding force and immaculate planning by CSIR under the able leadership of Dr. Shekhar C. Pandey, CSIR contributed all possible ways to mitigate COVID-19. It is a well-known fact now. I am not going to repeat it all. CSIR was not born in the area of life sciences or biology, but we contributed to hospital-assisted devices and PPE articles, and developed many products such as Astra Suraksha, better-operated hand washing and sanitizer dispensing system, integration group, coffee to store walking for longer periods of time, sensor-based sanitizer dispenser, G-Mask, disinfectant sprayer, heat-treated mask, sanitizer, soap, and many more. We have donated all these to James Bhubaneswar, Capital Hospital, Police Commissioner Office, local police stations, migrant workers camp, and many technologies transferred and commercialized by universities, which is reflected in COVID-19 technology compendia brought out by CSIR. Let me concentrate on the activities performed by the staff members in 2019 and 2020. The institute excelled as usual like previous years, although we were battered by Cyclone Kuni on May 2019. You must be aware that IMD not only brought back normalcy in the campus within 5 days, but detective relief work during 5 with attending Sicily, Cuttack and Bhubaneswar and all around police. Recently, of course, we did the same during Amphan. External cash flow this year, which signifies institute's potential to develop and deliver technology to the industry, has been increasing from the last few years. In 2019-20, the total planned and non-planned budget from CSIR was 8.5 crores as against this year of 44.5 crores, which is more than 40% of CSIR analytics total budget of 109 crores after deducting tax. This is the highest ECA so far generated by the institute. The labs, R&D activities are primarily funded by NALCO, Vedanta, Tata Steel, JSW, JSPL, NMDC, Bihar Limited, Safety NTPC, DMRL, Odisha Mining Corporation, while NSPCL, Robert Taylor, Steel Plant, NSPCL, NSKL, Ministry of Mines, Ministry of Steel, Ministry of Art Sciences, and Ministry of Science and Technology. The total number of external projects GAP SST executed is 83, whereas CSIR project humanity data 38. The CSIR activities direct funding received during this period in different humanity verticals is 30.7 crore. Institute also gave seed grant in the form of 20 OLPs to young scientists to impact the principles to R&D in their area of interest. We have published 107 papers in international journals, 4 patents filed, 1 granted, 1 technology transferred, and 5 MOUs signed in 2019. We conducted 11 skill development and training programs and 42 GPSR programs during this period. All these are possible because of hard work done by the scientists, staff members from all the divisions, and the administrative staff and PhD staff. CSIR started 2 important high-value projects as a part of extensional activities directly related to societal work. First one, CSIR funded IMT from Research and Technology Development Hub (CRT) in the area of new materials, chemical processes to help local businesses. The project outlay is approximately 12 crore over the 5 years. The other one is farm-based science and technology intervention years duration, participating by will CSIR, ICAR, and DBT institutes coordinated by CSIR IML. I'm happy to inform that our district administration recently won Scotch Platinum Award 2047. Several IIT scientists received awards in 2019, and a major one are this lab received Dr. C.J. Wadi Award Gold Medal from NGMI, which is Mining Geological and Metallurgical Institute, and National Geoscience Award from Ministry of Mines. R. Mukherjee received Institute of Engineers of India Young Engineers Award. Alok Kumar received Sita Bhutta HCA Award, and Bala Ramkishore NGMI Award. Swati Murthy received Brahmaputta Memorial Mining Shield by Ministry of Engineers, Odisha. S.S. Raj and C. Vishwakarma received R.P. Bhattacharya Award from NGMI. C.G. Mantri received Partner Young Researcher Award Protein Research Excellence by Society of Protective Proteins. D.S. Rao received Bal Vikas Award. Kumara Cabinet awarded with E.S. Well. Many well-known personalities visited IMT Australia. The prominent ones are Honorable Governor of Odisha, Dr. Ramesh IMT, and Nesta. Honorable Minister of Steel and Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan, assured us full support during this visit to take IMT's technology to understate level and commercialization with Vikas partners. From the administrative point of view, we recruited 12 scientists and non-technical officers and all back to work. The last time of offer without a letter of office community. We have taken up initiatives primarily colony area cleaning by regular staff in activities such as short pagoda, organized yoga classes, cricket, badminton, volleyball, football tournaments. We have completed additional lighting of campus roads, renovation of staff quarters and student hostels, paving campus roads, lighting of walking track, cricket ground, planting of trees, construction of sidewalk and many more. Before I end, I would like to submit that Institute is working with many mineral and metallurgical industries, which is essential towards import substitution. The technology developed by Mineral Processing Division of IMT on Department and Secretary of Road and Grade Road, taken up by JSF to Texas and Public Metallurgy, and IMT own beneficial data jointly with NLL and SIMPA on washing of high ash intake coal has good potential towards carbon neutral. If India has to produce 200 million tons of steel by 2030 or 2025, we have to use low-grade iron ore, fine, slime, and sludge. Surely this technology will help. Our technology on the conversion of non-coking coal to coking coal and coal coal is what towards coal import substitution. There are several other technologies such as mineral coal pipeline transport technology of Department of Logic Engineering for NMDC, static materials extraction such as copal scrap for demand, battery grade electrolyte battery dioxide production for oil, overburn extraction including leather from iron in Nagpur, sodium sulfate species for heavy water coal, accomplished by Electrometallurgy Division are the work towards accomplished power. Ferromanganese developed from high-grade iron ore for Tata Steel, reduces plasma. Tungsten projectiles of design of Advanced Material Technology Division, Coating and Sensor Technology of Liquid Chemistry Division, Mineralogy of Maria Chemistry of center accelerated to division. Industry 4.0, ion pellet technology is commercialized and required in various refined process sorting and instrumentation division are formulated. What are these? ASL certified lab or testing lab, SPT that we have, the wastewater treatment and environmental monitor technology of environmental and sustainable division are in the active of water and department and supplying white water to every Indian household. To fulfill Honorable Prime Minister's vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat under Honorable Minister Dr. Harshvardhanji's direction, I assure you that the CSR activity is fully equipped to work towards it and will support CSR and India at large under the leadership of Dr. Shekhar Mandel, DGC. I end here. Thank you for your time. Please stay safe. May God bless all. Thank you.
For leading us from the third following and teaching us to work hard. We are honored to have with us today our respected Director General, CSIR, and Secretary CSIR, Government of India, and the guest of honor. With great pleasure, on behalf of all of you, I humbly request
Just stick to 3 minutes.
Dr.
Out of only 2-3 minutes, I'll be brief.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Earth Sciences and Health and Family Welfare, Dr. Harshvardhanji, all the colleagues in CSIR MMT, Professor Basu. First of all, hearty greetings to all of you. I bring greetings from the headquarters on your foundation day. Secondly, I recall distinctly that Dr. Harshvardhanji had kindly agreed to visit with us Bhubaneswar in April for this particular function. And because of the national lockdown, that could not be done. But we are very grateful to him to have kindly agreed to be with us on today to celebrate that Foundation Day function. Sir, Professor Basu has correctly pointed out many of the IMMT's contributions towards Atmanirbhar Bharat and other areas that they work with very strong. I must point out, sir, last year when Cyclone Fani came in Odisha, there was very large scale destruction and the IMMT entire team, all the people, all scientists, students, administrative staff, all of them work in together to make sure that the campus is back on its feet within a very short time. But not only that, sir, they deployed this purification of water across Odisha to make potable water available to many people across Odisha in a very short time. And in coordination with our other labs, CFTRI Mysore and IHPT Palanpur, they were also able to distribute food to many people who were stranded in the flood. There is a very good job that all the MNT people did, and we are very proud of the fact that when emergency situation like that arose, every member of IMMT contributed. So that also helped us that if such situation arises in any other part of the country, they can look to IMMT model in trying to implement the solutions. And good enough, sir, or bad enough, this year when the cyclone hit Calcutta, Cyclone Amphan, the first thing that we did was immediately contact IMMT staff and requested them whether they could help people in distress in Bengal to help in that. And once again, the IMMT staff was very generous. Many of them went there and helped in telling people how to purify water, potable water, and distributed many food packets and things like that in trying to reduce the stress on our people. So we are very proud that whole of IMMT has been actually working towards this. But apart from that, sir, IMMT's scientific contributions are very deep in making India Atmanirbhar as per Honorable Prime Minister's vision, and also, sir, as per what is very close to heart to you. IMMT is working very strongly in areas such as extraction of rare earths and coking coal to non-coking coal to coking coal and so on and so forth, many of these initiatives will go a long way in realizing the concept of Atmanirbhar Bharat. So we are very proud of our IMMT team to bring not only deep science and technology solution, but also to work on the entire spectrum towards the benefit of our society. We are very pleased to have Honorable Minister with us today on this occasion. He is also the Vice President of CSIR. Dr. Harshvardhan ji is by far the only Minister of Science and Technology in the entire history of independent India who has visited all our labs, and he knows all our labs what happens there himself personally. Even if you ask him just to spontaneously talk about a particular institute, he is only one person in the country who can do that very easily on any of the institutes under the Ministry of Science and Technology. So we are very grateful to you, sir, for your support over the last 6 years, and we hope to have your guidance and support in the coming years as well. Thank you very much, sir, once again for having joined us, and once again felicitations to all the members, families of CSIR. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your encouraging words, for your wishes, guidance, and taking us to us. Thank you. Each year, we release our CSIR annual report during our foundation-based celebration on 13th of April. Around the same time, this year also, our annual University of April by not being released because of the postponement of the celebration due to the pandemic situation. So today, we are requesting our Honorable Minister, Dr. Harshvardhan ji, to kindly release an annual report of CSIR identity for the year 2019-20 in their private sessions as far as CSIR and Director.
जरूरत नहीं होती आजकल तो थोड़ा कपड़े में लपेट के लाओ कपड़े को फिर यूज करना इसके लिए एनवायरमेंट को जितना नुकसान होता है कितना कागज यूज होता है उनको बोलूँगा ऑफिस को कि अभी वही कपड़े में लपेट के सबको कहता रहता हूँ उनको डीवीडी होती है
growth of minerals and materials resources of state of
Institute of Materials Technology, INNT Bhubaneswar, is a premier national institution of the Council of Scientific and Industry Research, New Delhi. Established in the year 1964 as Regional Research Laboratory RRL Bhubaneswar, it was renamed on 30th April 2007 with a renewed mandate, vision and focus. INNT conducts innovative research and technology development programs in mineral processing, extractive metallurgy, advanced materials, and environmental sustainability, which constitute its core functional dimensions. INNT's expertise in characterization, definition, classification, separation, and beneficiation immensely contributes to the generation of new, green, and sustainable processes to generate wealth from wastes. Low-grade resources like lumps, fines, materials, and various complex combinations are treated by employing novel techniques of reduction roasting, pelletization, DRI, and smelting in pilot plants. Technologies developed for production of black-heat graphite, high-pure graphite, and graphene oxide are ready for commercial exploitation. Over the years, the institute has developed competency in characterizing coal samples for quality assessment. INNT has established state-of-the-art facilities for molecular and process modeling, ion pellet, an indigenous instrument for in-situ monitoring of iron ore pellets in the plants of steel industries, has been commercialized by INNT. INNT's pioneer these facilities are instrumental in providing basic design parameters to several industries engaged in the transportation of materials like ores, minerals, coal ash, and thermal by using pneumatic and hydraulic modes. INNT has set benchmark standards for pilot-scale extraction of non-ferrous metals from ores, minerals, and concentrates, including lean or complex and off-grid ores and mineral wastes generating from metallurgical and acid industries. Metallurgical processing of several mineral resources such as polymetallic nodules and polymetallic sulfides are being conducted on behalf of Ministry of Earth Sciences, New Delhi, for the recovery of crucial metals like nickel and cobalt. Over the past few years, INNT has done commendable work in recovering value-added products from effluents. Important of these are fluorofibromembrane unit for separation of various toxic and hazardous heavy metal ions from industrial wastes, process for recovery of rare earth and base metals like samarium and cobalt from spent and scraps, recycling of spent lithium-ion batteries, and technology for recovery of manganese from secondary resources in the form of electrolytic manganese dioxide, an important cathode material for use in alkaline and lithium-ion batteries. The institute has implemented programs to extract metal tungsten from gold mine tailings and has developed technology for production of tungsten alloy pellets, cubes, and pyramids for use as armory and piercing materials and products for DRDO. INNT scientists are developing a novel process to recover alumina from algo fly ash. The process leads to a deep utilization of fly ash. INNT's plasma processing facility is equipped with unique equipments for a wide range of surface engineering applications are ready for commercial exploitation. Extensive research has been conducted in developing a futuristic technology to permanently reduce iron by using hydrogen plasma smelting reactor in a single step. The institute has pioneered electrophoretic deposition technique for coating the metals, ceramics, polymers, graphene, and their composites for applications in a wide range of fields. Scientists are mimicking photosynthesis to produce hydrogen from water and converting carbon dioxide into methane. At the same time, photo and electrochemical sensors for detection of heavy metal ions for power and environmental applications are being developed. INFP has established a NABL accredited laboratory for chemical and biological testing of drinking and industrial water sources. This facility is extended to various government agencies, industries, hospitals, hotels, and housing societies. The concept of constructed wetland for sewage water treatment and recycling has been demonstrated in real-time environment in the urban neighborhoods. The Institute undertakes programs to monitor and assess the land and coastal atmospheric pollution for various agencies. Plasma-based pyrolysis process to convert banana plant residues into biochar has shown great potential as a potent source of potassium fertilizer in commercial scale. INFG has registered its presence in the society by popularizing appropriate technologies for rural, urban, and semi-urban sectors. Improved natural and forced draft biofuel charged goods stores have been developed for large-scale deployment to the rural sectors. INFG's water filtration media, popularly known as Terrafilm, has been validated thoroughly before licensing to over 150 MSMEs throughout the country.
As a whole, this ambience that we have, this with 170 acres of land, which is huge greenery and lawn and facilities like sports complex, facilities like cricket and football ground, badminton court, guest house and recreation centers. This gives a full-fledged ambience of a general growth of a person who joins probably at the age of 25 to 30 as a scientist. Not only that, most of the employees live within the campus and they enjoy really a full-fledged, very nice campus time, as I mentioned before. Thank you.
Moving on, the new website has been designed for sustainability, highlighting its technology provides R&D facilities and industrial partners have also been orders received by the industry. This website has been designed by using the latest software technology, security certificate, and abiding by the Government of India. I humbly request Mr. Dr. Rashid to kindly navigate the new website, the lessons of our security area and character. Actually, every year, we keep the Twitter Academy Foundation Year notably where the institute is open to public. We declare an opportunity to visit our research labs and interact with our scientists, staff, and students. We also arrange exhibitions of our R&D activities, technology developments, projects, etc. and more than 500 students from various schools and colleges in and around Malaysia visited and participated in the exhibition. But this year, due to the existing situation, the physical exhibition could not be held. Hence, we have together the exhibition combining the R&D activities of our various departments and Minister has nominated the exhibition and patent service. Now moving on, as per the wishes of the CSI Academy family members, a key thought has been received for identity, highlighting the characteristics of our research work and its continued efforts to R&D to build Atmanirbhar Bharat and to uplift the quality of life of rural Indian population. The lyricist of Shri Abhishek Anand. Music is composed by Pandit H.P. Kandavari and sung by our own staff of Kerala. The returns are on the minister to write these are a key thought, essence of our PPC and directed election. Okay, now this is the new website which has been recently designed. Abiding by the principles set by the necessary business software technology. With this highlight, our economic profile, our analytics, that have to be industry partners, the hosts and orders. And I'm also happy to announce that shortly we will be releasing this website in the regional language course.
Where is the song for Honorable Minister to unveil? Where is the song for the Honorable Minister to unveil? Is it here or it's there?
Okay, this is here to see.
It's on CD? तो वो CD जो दी थी आपको
CD तो है
This here to see, we can make some new.
already done.
Mandiri has already shown the CD to all of you that one.
Sure. So, thank you, sir. Let us have your art.
DGCSIR Dr. Shekhar Mande, Director of CSIR IMMT, our very prestigious institution, Professor S. Basu, the Chairman of the Foundation Day Committee, Dr. A.K. Sahu. Present with me is ADG PIB here and other senior friends from the media, all the scientists associated with this function with me virtually from Bhubaneswar, and all the past directors who have joined this function. First of all, let me thank you for giving me this privilege, and let me express my apologies that I wanted to be with you in the month of April, and I had very happily agreed and consented for that. And as you all know that every visit to a CSIR lab or to a lab of a scientist for me in the last 6 years has been a great privileged activity, and I have enjoyed each and every visit. I have enjoyed my association with each and every scientist. I have enjoyed my interaction with people inside the laboratories, and I also fondly remember my visit to your institution a couple of years back. And now, in fact, I had thought of making a second visit to all the laboratories when we were struck with this corona pandemic in the first week of January. And today, it is 8th of October, exactly 9 months ago, on 8th of January, in my ministry here in Health Department in Nirman Bhavan, within less than 24 to 48 hours of India and the whole world receiving the news of the coronavirus cases in China, because China saw these unknown cases of pneumonia with unknown etiology, and then they said that there is probably a new coronavirus, and on 6th probably they had informed the World Health Organization. And immediately we had taken a note of it, and it was exactly on 8th of January that we had organized our first meeting of group of experts. That was probably the fastest action anywhere in the whole world that India took. And as you all know, for 9 months we have been engaged in fighting this pandemic, and it's not only the health ministry, it is the whole government, it is the leadership of the Prime Minister, and it is the total society, every department of the government, the whole scientific community, not only the medical community but the whole scientific community. And when I talk to you on your 57th foundation day, because this particular institution as such was born in 1964, and almost 13-14 years back it was given this new name and a new focused approach to deal exactly with minerals and materials and see how we can scientifically harness this important wealth about minerals, about mining these important things. I have seen from close quarters how aggressively, how actively, how scientifically, and how with great meticulous precision you all work. And this particular laboratory, I think, is a huge contributor for the Atmanirbhar Bharat. The new slogan may have been given by the Prime Minister during the corona pandemic when he has spoken about a Atmanirbhar Bharat and focusing everything on Atmanirbhar Bharat. But from the day one in 2014 we have been seeing his whole approach has been towards promoting our indigenous science, our technologies, and our great scientific intellectual acumen. And I remember in the first Science Congress that he had addressed, he had spoken to the scientists of this country about the scientific social responsibility. And so his approach has been very, very clear. And it was in the first year itself he launched the Make in India movement. That was, I think, within few months of his having taken over as the Prime Minister of the country. Within a couple of months later, he launched the startup and the stand-up movement. And then all the other missions that he has launched, they have all been focused around ensuring that India becomes self-reliant, India becomes a huge, big power all over the world. And it is our Prime Minister who has made us realize time and again that the scientific community has the potential to actually make or deliver radical changes and radical reforms in the society. It can really, it has the capacity and the capability to alleviate the long sufferings of Indians, because we all know that even after 70-75 years since our independence, another 2 years from now we'll complete 75 years. Well, a large majority of Indian people are still suffering from basics, and this is, I think, this is a challenge that he has posed before us time and again, that the scientific community can actually deliver so much that these challenges can be handled. So as I said, I fondly remember this visit to your institution, and I have seen how you have done well in harnessing the value of these minerals and other materials. I will not, I have a huge list of your, I would say, achievements where you have contributed significantly to Atmanirbhar Bharat through your research and through your in-depth working around these minerals and materials, and a huge description of that has been given by Dr. Basu also when he read the report for this function, the annual report for this function. I do not want to repeat all those things, but I have to congratulate you all for because it is very heartening to note that our scientists in our CSIR and other institutions, they rose to the occasion. Because as a scientist who has been dealing with minerals and mining and all these related issues, it was not your job to be supplying food packets to those who have got that suffering from Fani cyclone or from cyclone in West Bengal in the neighboring state. But all our scientists all over the country, irrespective of what their precisely what their job was, they all exhibited a great amount of synergy, commitment, sincerity and focused approach. Like it was said in the report by Dr. Basu that you made sanitizers, you made masks, you made PPEs, you made so many things, and you just went around in various places of Odisha and started distributing them. And it was not your job to collect food packets from the CFTRI Mysore or from our Palampur lab and then to go and distribute them to those who have got, you see, uprooted because of the Fani cyclone. And you know, it is in fact the exemplary work that was done by India during the Fani cyclone. Number one, the timely prediction by our own scientists in the Earth Sciences Ministry, and then because of that timely prediction, the communication of the message to the people of the likely people for the affected areas, and then the type of actions that the administration took, and then the type of services that were delivered by people like you. It got us a name in the United Nations also. There were so many positive news items in the international dailies about how good is the capability of India, not only to predict, but also after predicting how to handle. And this is because all of us could work together. And that similarly in this corona pandemic also we could see that I had a lot of presentations from various scientists. You organize yourself well, you created that ideal optimum synergy also. And then I know our NAL in Bangalore, which is supposed to be making aeroplanes and Drishti and all, they were producing the ventilators. They got a new ventilator produced. And the labs, in spite of whatever their mandate was, they were contributing in the action, in their actions for helping corona. Our lab in Roorkee produced, you see, homes of these hospitals, mobile hospitals within, I think, less than 48 hours. And I had the privilege to inaugurate one of them in Ghaziabad. And that hospital was created in less than 48 hours, and the material for creating that hospital could be carried on the shoulders. So this is the level of work that we have seen. We saw the research on the drugs. We are now seeing research around vaccines. We saw the research around repurposing of the drugs. We saw the research around genome sequencing of the virus. Our ICMR people were the first one to I think 4 or 5 countries had only isolated the virus at that time. And after that, the virus, we saw the over 1,000 viruses being genome sequenced in CSIR, and over 1,000 viruses being sequenced in DBT. And then again, biorepositories being created by CSIR, also by biotechnology, and now we have 40,000 viruses in those biorepositories, where you can provide a virus to a young person, you can give it to a researcher, you can give it to a industry, you can give it to anybody to do further research, to use it for creating a drug. So the point that I am trying to make is that our scientists, if they decide, and if India decides, it has the capacity to do it, it has the capability to do it, and it does it. That is what I have learned in the last 5-6 years being in Science and Technology Ministry also, that whenever there is a need, you have risen to the occasion. I remember then when there was huge hue and cry about these pollution creating crackers, and this question was posed to me at one of the this International Science Congress in Chennai. And there in Chennai, through the media, in fact, I had appealed to the scientists of the country to please start working on a pollution-free cracker, green cracker, so that next year when we have the Diwali, and next year when we come back to another India International Science Festival, we have some sort of a green cracker. And much before the next Diwali, we could see the green cracker. And by the time of the next Diwali, it means after another year, the scientists had already convinced the whole cracker industry in South. They had shown them the way, they had trained them. So I always feel that it has been a great privilege for me to have been bestowed with this responsibility of being the Science and Technology Minister, and also the Minister for Earth Sciences, along with health. Health, you know, it has been my passion area. I have been working in the field of health since the time I was a medical student in the 70s, and I had the privilege to work in number of positions as a health minister in Delhi, as a union health minister in the previous term also for some time, and now also, and also with the World Health Organization for number of years as advisor in medical associations. So that had been my passion. But to have got this opportunity of working with the scientific community, I thought that it was the greatest blessing in disguise. And whatever I have learnt in science and technology is just marvelous achievement, at least personally I feel, for my life. And I have always say that on record, that if I had not got this opportunity in my life, I would have thought that my life was incomplete. Because after having seen all of you working, whether it is a lab in Bhubaneswar, or whether it is a lab in Calcutta, whether it's a lab in Assam, or in Jorat, or in Chennai, or in Pune, or in Delhi, or all over the country, we have so many labs, half a dozen labs in Lucknow itself. So, after having worked at all these places, I have got one confidence and one conviction. And I strongly feel that science has answers to every problem that humanity faces. Every problem. Today, if climate change is a problem, science has the answer to solve it. You have to only see that the fruits of science are delivered adequately, in a proper manner, with easy accessibility, with proper affordability to the people on this globe. And that is what science has done. And the CSIR is all about technology. The technology has changed our lives. It has made our life easier. Whatever we do today, you don't know next week what is going to be the technology upgradation. Or so after having felt that this is the potential of science, that is why I strongly agree with what the sentiment that is echoed by our Prime Minister, when he says that you, the scientists, your scientific acumen can change the lives of the common man. And whenever you decide what do you want to do, first look at the people. Try to imagine their problems. It is not that we want to do this. I think what the country needs, what the people of India deserve, what they want, what is going to help them in bettering their lives, what is going to improve their level of satisfaction, alleviate their sufferings, all that we have to imagine. And in every sector, your sector, I am sure you are having this particular lab is having so many good quality brainstormings with people who are experts in mining, who are dealing with the industry people who are into the mining thing. And then right now, whatever I am not a mining minister, but whatever I have followed in the cabinet of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, there are a lot of reforms going on in the mining sector also, which are induced by the government itself, led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He wants to make things easy, and that's why we have seen that a lot of our parameters like ease of doing business, from where we were 142 and now we are our ranking is just less than 50 perhaps. So today on your foundation day, and this is what I recently spoke at the CSIR main foundation day function also on 26th, that it's an optimum time to rethink and redesign and re-evaluate and replan with a new vision. The whole this difficult period of Corona, we have seen that Prime Minister has been able to convert this adversity into a blessing for the country. He has given us huge programs like Atmanirbhar Bharat, Atmanirbhar Swasth Bharat, huge package of things to help everybody. It's not the time to describe in detail, but yesterday itself in the cabinet we were discussing. You will be surprised. Generally people are talking about economic slowdown, economy is shattered, but
on 10 important parameters. It was described yesterday that compared to last year's September, this September, our, you see, parameters of growth, they have all improved. Some of them we have put on the Twitter also. I keep putting all these, sharing all these informations on the Twitter. So even in adverse times, he has shown his grit, he has shown his determination, and he has called for this Atmanirbhar Bharat. For health people, it's a Atmanirbhar Swasth Bharat. And this is where I have said, I told, requested the DG also to be in touch with all the directors. You also do a bit of your brainstorming in the next couple of days, and by the end of this month, I want all the directors to meet again. Like the Dehradun declaration, we did in 2015, probably in the month of May. We sat for 2 days, we had a brainstorming, and then there was a Dehradun declaration. What are we going to produce in next 1 year, next 3 years, 5 years? Now, for being an active contributor to Atmanirbhar Bharat, we all have to sit again and see what is that we can actually in a focused way do to be a real contributor to that. What is that requirement of India which India is not able to produce? We are importing from others. But after having seen all of you, I know that from a small needle to the biggest rocket or a aeroplane, you can produce anything in a CSIR lab. You have the capability of that, you have already done that. So let from now onwards be a focused approach even for our this CSIR IMT also, that what is that is now left and what is that is ideally required by the country to grow further in a faster manner. We have to first diagnose that and then reorient our approach, reorient our research. I always say that this research, it should not only be for your glorification of your personal CVs, that we got these 100 papers published, 50 papers published. I always say that it's not on the basis of how many times your paper was read. That is how you evaluate these days, and I have been talking about it at even international forums. Now the importance should be assessed on the basis of how much the research could change the life of the common man, how much better we could make it, and with a little bit of, you see, shift in our approach. Just you have to switch on something and put it in the right gear, and that gear should be directed straight towards that Atmanirbhar. Our focus should be like the we remember Arjun's focus was on the eye of that fish. So our focus should also be again that what is that we are going to contribute to this Atmanirbhar Bharat, because 3 years back Prime Minister has put that dream before us, dream of a new India by 2022. He called that New India. Now he has added another dimension, that New India has to be an Atmanirbhar Bharat. And ultimately this New India and the Atmanirbhar Bharat will take us to a Vishwa Guru Bharat. That is what he has been saying, that for every goal, he has set a goal for our country earlier than the international goal. He wants India to be a leader in science amongst the top 2-3. By 2030, he wants TB to be eliminated 5 years earlier. I know in health we have in our parameters around under 5 mortality and maternal mortality rate. We are growing, means we are bettering our rates at a faster pace as compared to the global averages. This is because we have set a good ambitious target for us. So that is what I think, in the presence of the DG, my appeal to Dr. Basu and all your colleagues there, that very soon, I think, as the things improve, I am also very keen to get back to every laboratory, because since the time I went to your laboratories, it has been a few years now, because this one round took almost 2-3 years, and then towards 2016, when I was planning to have a second round, then I had this extra charge of Environment Ministry, so that meant a visit to lot of these forests and environmental institutions. And now in 2019, Prime Minister gave me this additional responsibility of health also. So it has been a time crunch also, but I can assure you that I am very, very keen to go back to each and every laboratory and see with my own eyes what has been done over the last 2-3 years in particular. And then when I come, I want every laboratory to tell me what is our exact pinpointed focused vision for next 1 year or till the end of 2022, or say for 2025. I think if you will all sit together, brainstorm, decide and declare your contribution for Atmanirbhar Bharat, you will all feel contented, satisfied, and the country is already proud of you, and it will give, I think, a great amount of stimulus to other professionals also to work with more commitment and sincerity. So with these few words, I once again thank Dr. Basu, because in spite of the fact that I couldn't go in April, your team kept pursuing with me, so there was no other alternative except to do it through a virtual meeting. And today is a very, very important day, because you see, in our fight in the last 9 months, because of the whole of government and whole of society and whole of ministries, everybody's approach, you all know that we have been able to perform much better than the rest of the world. Even when we compare with the big developed countries, I think where they have most modern facilities for handling things, most modern hospitals and healthcare systems, but even then we performed better than them. Our cases per million, our deaths per million, our testings per million, all these data are I think far more impressive. We have the least fatality rate in the whole world, 1.55. We have the highest recovery rate, almost over 85% now, and we're doing almost 1 to 1.5 million tests a day. From a single lab, we have gone up to almost 1900 labs by now. And today, in spite of the fact that we did some of the very revolutionary activities, we started with a Janta curfew, we did a lockdown 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we were bold enough to ensure that we strike a good quality balance between economy and you see bringing about the economy back on rails, and then also handling the pandemic. So we started the unlock process also, then unlock 1, 2, 3, 4, and gradually we are unlocking further, taking steps very, very meticulously, with lot of precision and lot of, you see, high quality thinking into that, taking all possible precautions. But unfortunately, what has happened is that although a large number of people in the country are behaving very, very diligently, but there is still a small section of the society where maybe you can call it a prevention fatigue or whatever you can call it. People are a little complacent, and because of that complacency, people are not following the simple precautions. Fighting COVID is no rocket science. It is just about following a few precautions. And I am happy that everybody sitting in my room at least, and whomsoever I can see on the screen, they are all using the mask and they are using it properly. They have covered their nose, they have covered their mouth, and they are, while even speaking, they are not removing their mask. So today, because of the fact that a lot of people in the country, significant numbers, they feel that because the unlocking is happening everywhere, corona is probably over. The coronavirus, COVID-19 cannot affect them adversely, and that's why they have become a little relaxed about following these precautions. So the Prime Minister had to jump into it once again with a big, thunderous appeal. And he started his morning today with a tweet appealing to the whole country that we have to again rise to the occasion. We have to make once again a big movement in the society in whatever department we are. It's not only about health department. He has appealed to every department. He told every cabinet minister yesterday. He has ensured that every chief secretary, every chief minister is part of it. So of course our scientists also have to be part of it. And the issue is very, very simple. We have to make sure that everyone around us is following the simple precautions. No rocket science. Wear a mask properly. Wash your hands with soap and water regularly after you have touched some unknown surfaces, and maintain a good quality physical distance, or what you can. We started with social distancing, then people said it could be better called a physical distance. So maintain that 2 gaj ki duri, and of course take care of the respiratory etiquettes and avoid unnecessary gatherings, unnecessary functions. That's why we have this 57th Foundation Day being done virtually. And I somehow feel that we earlier also we knew that functions could be organized virtually. But the coronavirus had reminded us through this new normal that there are better things and better ways to do it. In science and technology, at least in biotechnology, I had been doing the GBMs of all the biotechnology institutes virtually for last 4-5 years. Because once I calculated how much it costs for this traveling and all, it was a few lakh rupees just for a meeting, and where people will come and just have a cup of tea and just present something, say okay, and then it's all over. So this corona has reminded us for this new normal, which is a great blessing in disguise. And I think in times to come we can probably improve our efficiency. We will do things physically also where they are absolutely unavoidable, but without spending any significant money. If the same thing can be done, I think that's a great advantage that the coronavirus has given to the whole world. So I would once again appeal to you that like you rose to the occasion, again listen to the Prime Minister's appeal, look at his Twitter handle, and then spread it as much as possible. I think that would be the greatest service to mankind at this particular moment, because your message may be able to inspire a couple of people, and if they are inspired to follow the right precautions, probably we may have, even unknowingly, without even getting the credit for that, may have saved a life which is likely to be lost. So that is the message for today, your Foundation Day. Incidentally, it coincides with the appeal of the Prime Minister, so I thought I'll certainly talk about it. So once again, thank you, Dr. Basu, for organizing this function in spite of this pandemic, and I wish all our scientists, they remain safe, they remain healthy, and I think let's wish, I've been praying and wishing that by Diwali we should probably at least see the beginning of the end of corona, and definitely in this year itself, so that next year we start inoculating Indians, and probably to begin with more vulnerable people, and have the immunity levels of the society raised to significant proportions. So thank you, namaskar, Jai Hind, Bharat Mata ki Jai.